don't know if you guys can see that rub. It's right dead center of the screen there. It's a small, nice looking rub there. And I know the sun's blinding us, but I just done a complete 180. So the rub I just showed you is right behind us. And then there's another rub here. And what I'm doing is basically I'm just slowly but surely, here's the other rub. Okay, nice looking little rub. I'm going to turn back here, and then you see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's another rub just right down there, and that's the rub I just showed you. So this, this is a rub line, and I want to follow that rub line. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of slowly walking and just kind of panning and looking, with my eyes for the next rub. This is going to be that Buck's travel route that he takes from here to there and there to wherever, and all I'm really doing is trying to figure out what is he actually doing. Is he going from bedding area to bedding area? Is he going from bedding to food? What is this rub line telling me? And that's all I'm trying to gather. When you're out scouting and you're following rub lines and stuff, don't just look for fresh rubs. And what I mean by that, let me show you this here. Okay, now this is on the edge of where some rubs come together. This rub here, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but this rub here is this year's rub. Okay, I think you guys can see that here. The sun is making it awkward, but this is this year's rub. Now if I look here 2 foot away from it, you see this here? This is last year's rub. But when you're looking at rub lines and you're investigating them, look for the new rubs like that, and then also look for that old rub, which is that tree right there. That was rubbed last year. That's how you find yearly buck travel routes and buck travel corridors, is by finding them new rubs and them old rubs. Them are indicating that either one of two things. Like I said, this is either a buck that's using this route for more than a couple of years, or this is a buck travel corridor. Now I'm fixing to show you guys something else. Now I've walked about 25 yards or so, and I know this video is kind of shaky, but I want you guys to see this. This is getting down into this oak flat. Okay, I just want you guys to see this. And what I mean by if you can find a yearly travel route corridor. Okay, I don't know if, can you guys see this? Right here, that's been broken off. He rubbed that this year. He rubbed this tree right here this year. He rubbed this tree right here this year. He rubbed that tree right there this year. We're going to step over another 5 foot. He rubbed this tree right here this year. He rubbed this tree right here this year. He rubbed that tree right there this year. Okay, this is where a lot of guys are, their heart starts pumping. Oh my goodness, their heart starts pumping, because they're finding all these rubs. But you'll be hunting, stuff like this here, and it may not be where the deer's actually coming through in the daytime. That's why you want to investigate these, and you may be hunting this at the wrong time. You want to investigate, why would this buck be making them rubs right here? Okay, we've got a rub right there. We've got a rub right here. Okay, we've got a rub right here. Okay, right there. Now, look here, I've walked a little bit further. You've got a rub right here. Okay, you've got a rub here. I'm looking for, now I'm looking to see, are there any old rubs? And there are. I've done found them before. But you've got a rub here, okay? And there is your tree that's been rubbed more than 1 year. So this is a rub line that gets used year after year. And one of the reasons for that is you've got white oak right here. When these white oaks are dropping, these bucks are hitting this heavy, okay? You've got some red oak scattered out through here. This is a heavy feed area for does. These bucks are coming up through here at different times investigating this, but it doesn't mean this is the best spot, okay? You've got a rub right here, okay? I mean, this is the kind of stuff you want to look for. I'm following a rub line right now. There's a rub right here, almost walked right past it. Okay, he really shredded that tree pretty good. It's a small tree, but how he shredded it and broke the limbs and everything indicated it's a decent deer. There's another rub right here. Okay, right there, he done the same thing with that. There's another rub right here. Okay, I hope you guys can see these. Rub right there. There's another rub right here. We've got a rub here. We've got a rub here. Okay, the thing is you really want to look at the area, at these rubs, and investigate, is this just a one-time a year thing? Is this been done just one time? Now I want to show you this rub here, okay? Because this is a bigger tree. Man, he really worked it over, but you can see that this tree has been rubbed for many and many years. Okay, the deer have really basically damaged the tree because they rub it every year. Okay, there's another one right over here, about 10 yards. Just the same way. Okay, exact same way. They've basically damaged the tree by rubbing it every year. They've almost killed it because they rub it every single year. And you see on this side, it's being rubbed both sides of the tree every year. Now the key things, here you've got a bedding area right back here. This is the edge of a bedding area as it goes in, back in there. Now, this area here is pretty open. Okay, it's pretty open here. But now about up there, probably 100 yards, is another area that I have to investigate more. But it's pretty thick of an edge area, and there's some other key features here that I want to investigate. But I know that, hey, there's a lot of bucks coming through here. This is not the only rub line, but you see this creek here, right there. On the other side of that creek is the same way. I could just walk down there, just like I just did, and show you guys just rub after rub after rub after rub. And then, like I said, guys, you want to investigate it to see what's going on. Don't just get excited just by seeing new rubs. There's an old rub, okay, on that tree there. Here's an old rub here on this tree here. 15 yards this way, you've got two rubs from this year. Okay, there's a rub there, right there from this year. 5 yards this way, two rubs from this year. There's a rub there from this year. There's a rub here from this year. Here's a rub from last year where he actually broke the tree. He broke this tree off last year, rubbing it. You see here, he broke the tree off last year, rubbing it. Same thing. Here's a rub last year right here. Here's a rub this year. Okay. Right here, exact same thing. Here's like four rubs. There's one there on that tree. There's one on this tree here. There's one on this tree here. He's broke this tree off. He's broke this tree off. Okay. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. I don't want to just see fresh rubs. I want to see rubs from more than 1 year. Here you go. Just a few steps away here where he possibly broke the tree off last year. Okay. And then there's another rub from this year, which is the same thing. Here is another rub from this year. Okay, right here on this tree here in front of me, and then another rub 10 foot away right there. Okay, and then here, this one here has been broke off. There's quite a few bucks been coming through here for several years. That lets me know that this is going to be used year after year after year. Okay, them are the kind of things you want to find. Now basically I just investigate all of this. I follow it both directions. I follow it back to this bedding area back here, and I want to follow it to what I see as this bedding area back here. And then guys, I already know that I've got a bedding area here, I've got a bedding area back over here a couple hundred yards, and I've got a bedding area back over here a couple hundred yards. So I've got 4 bedding areas here, and I want to find I want to find these what you call funnels in between these bedding areas. That's what I want to investigate. There's a big white oak there. There's a really big white oak right there. Gum tree here. We got some red oaks, pin oaks, different variety of stuff. But I'm going to investigate this area really well today. I found this really big rub here, and actually I found this monster rub line. And I'm just kind of investigating it. And guys, you see here how open this area is. This is what happens with a lot of people. They find stuff like this, and there's several other rubs right back here. I just made a video on it, you know, and there's another big rub right over there. But the point of this is I've got this really big rub here. It looks really pretty. It's right out in the open. Not really an area that I suspect a pressure buck to move during the daytime so much. Not saying that he won't, but not very likely he will. But people get hung up on this stuff right here all the time. And I'm going to show you a perfect example of this. There's a deer stand right there. Okay, 20 yards from this rub, you know. And then there's an old rub right there. The guy, you know, he sees this and he gets real excited. Here's the rub. There's a deer stand, remember. There's a deer stand 20 yards here. Okay. And there's a deer stand 10 yards from it right there in that tree. Okay. It's a hang on. The guy's got spikes in the tree. He's got his both of these deer stands are looking out into this really open area. Okay, this is probably not going to be the most productive spot right in here, but these guys are hung up on this stuff, and I almost guarantee that these rubs were made in the middle of the day, or middle of the night. And you know, there's another baseball bat size rub right there. These two guys are set up right out in the wide open, trying to kill a buck that's being hunted heavily. There's this area right here, within probably a 20 acre, it's right around the center. There's like four or five stands. So these bucks are getting hunted heavily, not counting the fact that this really thick bedding area, I hunt right on the back edge of it where it meets to another bedding area. So you've got me hunting it as well, slipping in the back door on these guys, and hunting in between right in between the two bedding areas where they almost connect. Okay, where the bucks go from one bedding area to the other. Okay. So the thing is don't get hung up on the big monster rubs like you see there. Look for the habitat that's going to draw that deer through in the daytime, and that's going to be stuff where he feels safe. He's not going to feel safe walking out through that wide open in the day. Okay, I'm just going to do a slow pan around so you can see it. Now, I mean, obviously this is a decent sized area, but you can see that it's very thick undergrowth. Okay, very, very thick undergrowth through here. Okay, and it may look further in the camera, but I can really, very few places can I see over, about 40 yards, and we're in a dead middle of winter. I can guarantee you in earlier season, you're not going to see very far. I mean, even here, I can't even see 20 yards up through here. Okay, it's just very thick, and this is a band of thick stuff like this that runs on the edge of some open area. Now, back behind me right now, there's a hill. I'm kind of investigating it. But here, and there's rubs. This is not the only rubs. But here, I've got a fresh rub this year. Okay, and right beside it, on the other tree, there's a rub from last year or the year before or whatever. Okay, and there's several rubs that run up through here in this area, and that one's this year. This is an old rub. And here's an old rub right over here. That is what I want to see. I don't want to just see fresh rubs. But here's an old rub here from a couple of years ago, and then there's lots of rubs scattered out through here. And you see how thick this is. I don't think this is a bedding area. I think this is more of an area. This is more of a transition area in a big woods situation, to where I believe what's happening is back here behind me. There's possibly bedding going on up on top of this hill. I know for sure that this way, here along the edge of the hill would be to the right now. Possibly some bedding going on back there, but I know for sure that there's a bedding area over there about 150 yards, something like that. And what's happening is these bucks are coming down through here because it's just really thick. They feel really safe. And then right up here in front of me, there's just some really nice, big, pretty white oaks. You've got some post oaks through here. There's some red oaks as you go down even further, closer to the bottom. Actually, there's two red oaks right there. Obviously, there's no acorns on the ground right now. Here's another old rub here. Okay, there's another old rub there. Obviously, there's no acorns on the ground right now. But when these acorns start dropping, during bow season, early bow season, this area is getting used heavily, and these deer are coming, the younger deer and stuff, they don't mind being out in the open, which if you go 75 yards that way, or even less than that, if you go 50 yards that way, it's just super open. And the older deer, especially your more mature bucks, they don't want to expose themselves out in that open in the daylight. But he will come up through here and feed during the day. We have a really nice double white oak right here in front of me. Okay, he will feed on that. There's a couple of really big white oaks over there. There's several of them right here in front of me. There's some red oaks right here. Okay, there's a red oak tree right there. Okay, it's a small one, but there's some nice size one. There's a red oak tree right there in front of me. It's pretty good size. White oaks. There's a scattered variety, not counting all of the browse they have, you know, and stuff like this here. These deer can eat that. You've got this stuff here, this little tree here, they can eat. You've got, you know, these bushes here that provides them browse, and they feel safe in the cover. These are areas, if you're bow hunting, you need to find these type of areas here. If you're bow hunting in big wood situation like I am, you need to find these areas here where these bucks feel safe during the daytime. Okay, so you know, basically that's it. I'm looking for stand location here. I have one stand location down here about 75 yards where this thick area meets another thick area. That's a good spot where these bucks are kind of funneled in a really nice. But I'm looking for a stand location up in this area here somewhere if I can find something that looks good. But mainly, I just wanted to show you guys this because this is what you guys need to look for. Areas like this. This is an actual natural funnel that these deer are using. You know, it may look like right there, it may, in the camera, to me it looks like a long ways, but I can only see about 35 yards. Okay, and it may look further in the camera than it really is. But then here, I can only see about 20 yards maximum. You know, up through there, and there's several rubs and stuff coming down through here. This is definitely an area where the bucks are using to come in and out, feeding and what have you. And there's really nice, pretty rub right down there. I don't think you guys can see it. I'm just going to show you one of my stand locations. Actually, my tree is right there, that big pine tree. I've got a big white oak sitting right there, another one sitting right beside it. Now I want to just show you something on the ground level here of this stuff, how actually thick this is on the ground. Okay, now when these white oaks are dropping, all this has all this foliage and stuff still on it. Okay, now there's a bedding area back that way, probably 100 yards. Okay, and you've got all this really super thick stuff that runs right up through here. Okay, these bucks, I mean, there's rub line all up through the middle of it, but these bucks feel real safe. And there's another bedding area back there, probably about 100 yards. Okay, so these bucks use this. They come up through here, and they feel very safe